Okay. So feet hip width apart, toes straight ahead, shoulders back and down. Come into your mountain pose. Get those knees going toward your second toes. So they're going straight ahead. So ankles, knees, hips, and shoulders line up facing forward. Keep your hips open. Shoulders back and down. Crown to the ceiling. Spread your toes out. Don't forget to breathe. Take a moment getting centered, focusing inward in your yoga perspective. And keep that inner focus throughout your practice. And then inhale and bring your arms to shoulder level, but keep your shoulders down. Hands to your heart, elbows back, keeping the heart open. Inhale to the front, keep the shoulders still down. And then bring your hands behind you. Clasp the fingers just gently and press them toward the floor as you lift your heart. Stretch your head back as far as you want to go. Nice back bend, but keep stretching open through the back. And then exhale, pivot at your hips. Come on over into that forward position. Spread your toes, lift the sitting bones. Feel the back of your legs. Let them stretch a little bit. Hands toward your head for that shoulder to begin working. And don't forget to keep breathing. Move your chin, release your neck. And then with your knees slightly bent, work your way back up from the bottom of the spine, unwinding and moving into the back bend. Chest high, shoulders down, head back. Keep breathing and stretching. Keep the weight on both feet evenly. No crunching with those toes. And then inhale up, release your arms, and take a moment just focusing inward. Feel the circulation increase. And again, arms at shoulder level, hands to your heart, stretch to the front, and clasp your hands the other way behind you. And again, lift the heart as you stretch back. Nice little back bend in that upper back. Exhale over. And just deepen as much as you'd like. Think about the knees being straight so your hamstrings get a stretch on the back of your legs. Hands toward your head. Take a breath. And just relax. Lift your sitting bones maybe a little more. And then again, ribs up and sitting bones down as you wind your spine back all the way up and into the back bend. And again, stretch while you're doing that. And breathe. And then inhale to the top, release your arms, and just take a moment feeling that spine getting more energized. And then let's keep one arm down and the other arm out. Palm toward the ceiling, hand above your shoulder. Push the hands away so you get a good stretch, and then slide, no twist, over to the side. Push the foot you're leaning away from down. Get those ribs opening a little bit more. You can look up toward that arm so you're not leaning forward. And then inhale to the top, release that arm, and as you exhale, feel the difference. So yeah, bring the other arm out, palm toward the ceiling, hand above your shoulders so we can balance it out. Stretch apart, and lean to the other side. And again, the arm stays by your ear. The foot you're leaning away from presses a little more into that surface beneath you. And then you can look up so that you make sure you're not turning forward. Then inhale back up, release your arm, and just take a moment again, observing your body's response. And then we're going to stretch that spine apart for our twist. So remember, base of the skull, base of the spine, push away from each other. Arms at shoulder level. Palms toward the ceiling, hands above your shoulders, but keep those shoulder blades down. Clasp your elbows, spread your toes out, weight on both feet evenly, stretch your spine apart. Exhale and twist. So turn to either side, lengthen up. And as you exhale, come on over in a twist. See if your weight is still on both feet evenly, as much as you can, even though you're leaning to one side. Take a few breaths, lifting your sitting bones, and then slowly work back up. Lift your heart, pull your elbows back, and a nice upper body back bend. Keep lengthening, shoulders down, elbows back, heart high. And then inhale to the top, exhale around to the center, and switch your arms around. Pull the arms back next to your ears and stretch the spine apart again. Exhale and twist to the other side. And once more, a breath in, and then exhale over. Just take a breath or two there, checking how your weight is distributed. Keep your arms by your ears. Pull in your body toward your leg. And then slowly work your way up in the twist and into that upper body back bend one more time. Take a few breaths, just releasing any tension, lifting your heart. And inhale to the top, exhale around to the center. Arms coming up into extended mountain, but keep the shoulders, shoulder blades toward your waist. Take a breath. Swan dive forward, arms out at shoulder level. Pivot at your hips, stretch it out, and then just drop into ragdoll. Take a moment there, breathing and releasing any tension. And then slowly work your way back up. And shoulders back and down, coming into mountain pose. Feel your core, make sure that's nicely activated. Check that you're aligned with those toes straight ahead and the knees going toward your toes. We'll do our little balance one. So spread out through the toes on your balance foot. Get the base of the toes connected, but remember, don't grip those toes down. You want to make sure the base keeps supporting them. Lift the arch, keep the whole bottom of the foot down. Ankle, knee, hip, shoulder lining up. Core activated, so ribs toward your spine and up. And sink into that foot. Bring the other foot up. Make sure that it also rolls in a little bit so you're not crossing the foot over. And bring it up toward your heart as much or as little as you want. And then work your ankle because we want to make sure that they stay nice and flexible. And when you're ready to release, flex and point a couple of times as you return that foot to the floor. Shift what worked over to the other side. And again, spread out the toes, no gripping. Line everything up. Keep that core supporting your spine. And bring the other foot up. And again, pull it toward your heart as much or as little as it wants to go. You can keep it close to the floor if you're balance challenged today. And work your ankle wherever you are. Breathing and flex and point back down. Take a moment there, feeling that circulation in the ankles and all the way up through the lower body, through the spine. Toes straight ahead, knees toward the toes. Bring your arms to shoulder level. Palms toward the ceiling, hands right above your shoulders. Shoulders, shoulder blades stay down, core activated. So ribs toward your spine and up, support that spine. We're going into chair. So sink your hips back as you bend your knees toward, but not beyond your toes. So the hips may need to go back if you squat deeply. Keep your arms by your ears. Keep the weight over both the base of your toes and heels, but maybe a little more into the heels as you sink back. Reach out through the fingertips and head, but pull those shoulder blades toward your waist. And then let the fingertips lead you back all the way up from that squat. Exhale and release as those arms come back into mountain pose. Feel your spine, feel your legs. Notice what your body is telling you about that practice. And then again, arms at shoulder level, palms toward the ceiling, hands above your shoulders. Stretch up through the head and the fingertips, down with the sitting bones and shoulder blades. And again, into our squat. So hips going back, sinking as deeply as you want. So you can stay, fairly upright, or you can squat all the way down till your thighs are parallel to the floor if that works for you. Stretch it out through the head and the fingertips. Sink evenly into both feet. Take a breath. And then another breath and exhale over into ragdoll. And wind your way up. Shoulders back and down into mountain pose. Take a moment there. Notice how your body is telling you what's going on through that core, as well as the legs and spine. Take a breath. So we're going to lengthen and get that back of your body ready to twist. We're going to go into our squat, and then we're going to do the twist. So remember, personal practice, do what's right for you. You may not want to go quite as deep into the squat this time as you've been doing, because the twist is a little challenging sometimes. And remember, you want to keep your hands at your heart. The idea is not to move your hands into the twist, but to turn your whole body into the twist. So even if you don't get all the way into a twist, just go a little ways, that's okay, as long as you're turning your whole body and not just shifting your hands around. So again, arms at shoulder level, palms toward the ceiling, hands above your shoulders, and sink into your squat as much as you want. Get the weight into the heels and base of the toes. Bring your hands together to your heart. So if you don't want to twist, you can just stay here. If you want, you can just bend over and roll your way back up. Otherwise, we're going to lengthen the spine, sitting bones and crown away from each other, and turn your whole body to look toward the side. You can bring your elbow to the outside of that knee. That can give you a little bit of support in your twist and leverage to get a little deeper into it. So the whole spine is twisting, hips, ribs, shoulder, everything, not just turning your neck or moving your arms. If you like, you can separate your hands and see how that works. And then bring the hands back together right in front of your heart. Turn your body back toward the floor. And bring your arms near your ears, fingertips lead, coming all the way back up. And again, releasing into mountain pose. Take a breath. Exhale any stress or tension. That can be a little bit intense. So remember, breathe. And of course, we need to balance the body and do that one more time, going the opposite direction. So again, if you found that that was too much being in your squat as deep as you went, do it a little bit less. If you found it was really super easy and you want to do more, squat a little deeper. Personal practice, do what's right for you. Again, arms at shoulder level, palms toward the ceiling. Keep the shoulders down, arms right above your shoulders. Fingertips reaching up, extended mountain. And again, knees bending toward the toes, not beyond, arms by your ears, sinking into your squat. Hands to your heart, elbows out to the sides. Just a little gentle pressure on those hands together. You can stay there, or you can turn your whole body and look to the side into your twist. So again, you can hook that elbow outside the knee, press the knee and elbow into each other as you rotate, giving you a little extra twist if you love it, but don't do that if you don't. Take a breath, separate your hands if you want to, just to see how straight to the side you are. And then bringing them back together, back to your heart. Rotate again with your whole body facing the floor. This time, let's just drop into ragdoll, lifting your hips, dropping your chin in toward your chest. And again, knees slightly bent as you wind your way once more back to the top. And mountain pose. Take a moment there, breathing. Feel your body. A little bit more energized. That core work tends to build up some energy for you. Take a breath and tension out. We're going to step wide. We're going to do a warrior one. And again, this is a little twisty. and it's going to move your whole body. So usually when we do our warriors to the Warrior2 version, we stay facing the front, but in the Warrior1 version, we're going to turn the body with the foot. Sink into your feet evenly. You can be as wide or not wide as you want. The wider you are, the more you'll get into that front leg parallel to the floor, but you don't need to do that. So we're going to turn the first foot all the way, 90 degrees, turning the hip, bringing the back hip forward, and moving that foot behind you so that the knee is pointing angled toward that corner of the mat. So toes forward, heel back. Keep the front hip pulling back, back hip pulling up so the hips are parallel to each other, facing forward. And then bring your hands again behind you, fingertips together up toward your shoulder blades in reverse prayer position. And then sink your knee over your ankle, pushing your hands into your spine, letting that heart lean forward. Keep this back hip pulling up and the front hip pulling back. If you don't need to, you can keep your hands there. And then rotate and look up toward the ceiling as you come into a little bit of a back bend in your warrior. So the further apart your legs are, the more this thigh can be parallel to the floor. Doesn't need to go there if you want. You want to make sure that the knee stays above the ankle, pointing toward that second toe, not out toward your little toe or in toward your big toe. See if you can see your big toe as you're in the bent knee position. And the chest forward, hips sinking, and weight into that back foot as much as into the front foot. Take a breath. And then releasing your hands, straightening your knee, turn the feet to the front, back into your starting position. Notice what your body is telling you. If that was a good position for your feet, keep them there. If you need it wider or closer, make sure that you move to where it's appropriate for your body to do. And again, we're going to do our Warrior1 to the opposite side. So again, we're going to pull that back hip forward, front hip back as we turn the feet. So turning the foot and the heel and the hips, everything facing front. And again, you can bring those hands into your prayer position behind your back. So you can go into a nice little back bend, or you can keep them right there at the hip joint, making sure that the front hip and back hip are going where they need to, right across from each other. And then again, bend your knee right above the ankle, making sure you're going toward that second toe, weight pushing into that back heel, little toe side of that back foot, as much as sinking into that front foot. And rotating your face, looking up, lifting your heart into a little bit of a back bend while you're in your warrior. Take a breath, just sinking into it as much as you want, spreading the toes, not gripping, making sure that your body is doing what you need it to, sinking those hips straight down towards the floor as you arch into your back bend. And then facing forward, you can release the hands as you straighten the knee and turn the feet forward, and then step back into mountain pose. Take a moment there, just feel your body, or activate it through the legs, through the core. Maybe a little upper body back bend may help to open up that heart a little bit more. And hands to your heart. Inhale, look at your hands as they come up. Another little back bend, pulling the thumbs back, hands back as you look at them, coming as deeply into the back bend as you want. Exhale and follow your hands to your heart, pivoting over, dropping into ragdoll. Just stay there a moment in ragdoll. Slide your hands up under your knees and press the palms into your shins. Knees straight, elbows straight, spine straight. Everything stretching nice and open, get that core working. And then dropping to the floor with your knees bent, coming into child's pose. And just transition with your forehead down, shoulders forward, Knees together for a good low back stretch if you want, or separate it a little bit more. Take a breath. Just relax. And when you're ready, sit up on your heels, bring your legs out to the front, and into staff position. So take a moment there, getting everything activated. Core supporting your spine, sitting bones slightly behind you, shoulders above your hips, crown reaching to the ceiling. Toes are pointed up, knees are up, and we are going to just warm up the hips. We'll do our diving dolphin since that's always a favorite. So bring your foot to your thigh, letting the knee come down as much as it wants today. Some days are more challenging than others, so if this is tight, bring that leg over to the side for a little bit more hip opening for your body. Take a breath. You can add your weight of your hand, but remember, don't press. We don't want to stress the muscles. We want them to relax. Breathe. Just let things release into their position as much as they want to do. Only doing what's right for your body, personal practice. Letting that knee come as far toward the floor as it wants. You may be up here, that's okay. Remember, personal practice, what's right for you may not be what I'm doing, so don't worry about it. And then foot and knee into your hands or wrap your arms around. Move that rotator back and forth so that outside of the hip, we're warming it up. Remember, just gently or as intensely as you like. If you've got a lot of interest in doing that, you can pull your leg higher or closer and get it a little bit more noticeable in that hip joint. But remember, there's fluid there. We want it warmed up so that it's cushioning things. And then release that leg. Feel the difference. Remember, noticing what's going on internally for you. That's your yoga practice. You don't want to be just going through the motions. You want to be mindfully paying attention to what's going on. And of course, we're again balancing the body. So bring that other foot up and let the knee come down on the other side. Knee and toes up at the front or over slightly to the side. One more padding behind you if that's going to help to open the hips a little bit more. Getting this hip starting to work. Take a breath, just relaxing into it, letting the knee come toward the floor as much or as little as it wants. Personally noticing and letting your body do what's right for it. And when you're ready to move that hip joint back and forth, bring the foot and knee up or wrap your arms around and pull it in. And again, just back and forth gently, getting this hip moving on that outside rotator area. Higher or closer if you love it, or not if you don't. It's always whatever is right for your body, not whatever is right for somebody else. And again, as that gets a little easier, you can release it and notice how your body is responding. Take a breath, exhale tension. We'll do our diving dolphin next since we warmed up those hips. So sitting bones slightly behind you, spine stretching open because remember we twist on this one. Bring your right foot to the inner left thigh or one foot to the opposite thigh with the knee right straight out to the side as much as you can. Feel that hip working. And then knee bending, bring that heel in near your other hip. So this hip will be up, that back hip will be up, the heel is not underneath it. You want to be able to move hips, ribs, and shoulder into the twist. So make sure you're stretching that spine apart and turning to the first knee that you bend. So for me, it's the right knee, hand on the leg or the floor, whatever's more comfortable for you. And then in our twist, we're going to forward bend, tucking in your chin, diving your forehead down toward your knee. Exhale as you go under the water there. And then rotate your face forward, inhaling as you come up to the sun and the sky. Remember, you're the dolphin. So just dive your dolphin down, swimming underwater, and then leaping up to the sun and the sky as you back bend on your way up and breathe in. So you're contracting a little bit on the forward bend down And you're expanding and back bending slightly on the way up. And just feel your whole body range of motion and enjoy it. And then the next time you're leaping up, pause at the top, exhale, turning back to the center and releasing your legs back into staff position, feeling that spine a little bit more energized and activated, as well as those hips having been worked a little bit more. And of course, we're going to balance the body and dive our dolphins the other way along the shore. So sitting bones behind you, left foot coming to the right thigh or the opposite if you do the other. And then bending the other knee toward the front, the heel coming back near your hip or wherever it goes for you. Again, core active, stretch up through the spine, get those bones open, able to twist. Exhale, hips, ribs, shoulder, turning toward that first knee. Ribs in, tuck the chin, exhale as you go diving under and rotate your face into a nice back bend, lifting your heart as you inhale your way up to the sun and the sky. And again, you are the dolphin. Dive as deeply and leap as high as your body is wanting to do today. Getting that roundedness, going forward and backward as you go through your range of motion, dolphin diving. Exhaling down, inhaling up, and just feeling your whole spine working as you go through that. And again, the next time you're up, we'll pause at the top, exhale around to the center, and release your legs back into staff position. Bring the legs to the end of your mat. Core activated as we roll all the way down to the mat. So slowly just allow your body to come onto the floor. A little reclined integration, letting those shoulders sink down. Hands palms up away from your sides. And move slightly, just giving everything centered on the ground. And we'll do a twist before our relaxation. So bring your hands to T position, straight out from your shoulders, palms up or down. We'll just do our bent knee twist today. So sitting bones slightly toward your heels as you bend your knees, press the back down, heels in right next to your sitting bones. Feet flat on the floor, press your back gently down, and bring your feet up off the floor with your knees right above your hips. If you like a lot of low back twist, you can cross your leg over. If you don't, just leave the legs next to each other. We're going to roll those legs over to the opposite side and turn your head toward that other arm behind you. So shoulder blades stay down for that nice middle back twist. Please come over toward the floor for that low back twist. Remember, you can put padding if you need to. Keep your feet down for support if you want. And then turning your head, of course, for that neck area twist to the opposite side. So breathe deep. Exhale, just let your whole body sink into the twist as much as it wants to. Remember, never force the twist. Just allow it to happen with your breath. Let those ligaments release as you breathe out. And again, going as deep into your twist as you'd like. Hold them longer on your own. We need our relaxation, so go ahead and release. Bringing your heels toward your hips and rolling onto your back. Uncross your legs if they were crossed and cross the other leg, or bring your feet to the floor first and straighten it out. And then cross them or not, just knees next to each other. And again, we're rolling to the opposite side with those legs as you keep your shoulders down and turn your head the other direction. Once more, breathe into it. Just allow the knees or knee to come toward the floor on the side your knees are moving toward for that low back twist. Head turning, neck twist, and of course, shoulders down, shoulder blades on the floor for that middle back twist all the way through your spine. Deep breath. Just exhale into your twist as much as your body wants. And again, if you're ready to release it, heels toward your hips, rolling onto your back, uncrossing your leg if it was crossed, and sliding your feet down, hands near your hips, palms up, coming into corpse position for our final relaxation today. So deep breath, just let your body sink. Scan through your body, notice what's been working, and let it relax. So quite a bit of leg and torso work. Just release any tightness there. Soften your shoulders, your arms. Move your jaw around. Let your whole body go. Whole lower body just sinking deep. Feel Mother Earth supporting your shoulders, your hips, your head, your ankles. Take a breath. Just let your body go. Feel it getting heavier as you relax every part of your body. And just let the earth support you as it always does. As you relax in your body, just let thoughts of your body release from your mind. As those thoughts disappear, know that other thoughts will come to you. It's the job of your mind to keep producing those thoughts. It's your choice whether you pay attention. So let those thoughts go right now, releasing them as easily as your breath, letting them float away without awareness. Breathing deep, body sinking, mind floating. Just let everything release completely, releasing awareness from your body and your mind. Let the earth support you. The ether disappear your thoughts. And just allow your awareness to focus inward, finding that peace deep within. Fill your thoughts with peace, your body with peace. Just take a few moments breathing, feeling peace. If that relaxation feels really good for you today, just keep releasing and relaxing as long as you have a chance. It's time to reactivate for the rest of your day. Just begin breathing more deeply, moving your body gently as you become ready to do so. Drawing energy and awareness with the breath back to the moment, to the room, to your body. As you breathe more, stretch more, give yourself a moment to breathe and stretch. Moving your feet, your arms, your head, whatever needs moving. And when you're ready for your final yoga for the appreciation, sitting bones toward your heels toward your hips, and draw your knees toward your head. Wrap your arms around whatever feels good for your head today. And let your body know you appreciate its yoga work and the work your body does for you every day. When you're ready to release, head and feet to the floor, just roll to the side and sit back up, getting ready for whatever's ahead for you. Thanks for joining me.